6 or 7 meals. It's like 2 per, right? And then maybe a snack mixed in there. Midday.
I mean, you were like peeling off innards of pizza like at midnight.
Mm-hmm. Give me the pizza guts. What's your favorite pizza guts? Remember the old Tombstone commercials? What do you want on your tombstone?
Yeah, I do remember those. That are the Tabasco one where they put all the Tabasco and the mosquito died.
Yeah. It would fly off and then explode. Oh, that's good shit. NOFODcast is live. How do we sound? Live.
All the Tabasco and the mosquito died.
Yeah. It would fly off and then explode. All right, we're good. Everybody's good. The morning edition. This is the morning edition of NOFODcast.
Yeah, doesn't happen often.
Is this when we announce to the audience that we're going to start doing 2 shows a day? A morning.
Oh, God.
A morning. Was that the kind of funny schedule?
Yeah, as long as we aren't actually keeping a regular 9 to 5, I'm good with that.
Damn, when can we get to that point?
Is there even that much to talk about?
I think we could find a way, and we have the libraries to carry us through streaming. I know it.
Say we'll talk about daily stuff, and then the second one would be streaming, I guess.
Yeah, because some of these some of these things that come up we could stretch out to an hour easily. We could go in depth on these Game Pass games rather than rattling them off.
I prefer rattling them off.
You prefer the rattle off? Brand, are we going to do, I know there was a Pokemon... I never even saw the Pokemon Presents announced. I just saw news start flooding in. I'm like, are they doing a fucking Pokemon show? What is this?
Yeah, I'll bring it up because it was, same as it always is.
Same as it ever was.
Or you just want to move it to next week?
I wanted to say same as it ever was. But no, it's it was a lot of this mobile game, the Nintendo or the Netflix show and this, that, and the other. I was just gonna go, hey, there was a Pokemon Presents. Here are the game things out of it.
Oh, iOS automatically adds the umlaut on the E on Pokemon. It's interesting.
Really?
Yeah, I just rattled out Pokemon down there and it put it in there.
Ooh.
You want to do? Nice. You're gonna do that at the end? Do you think?
Oh yeah, probably.
Brant's Pokemon Presents. Or we could save it till next week. I mean...
The Pokemon correspondent.
You are a Pokemon correspondent.
I think Brant's got it. It wasn't that much. It was literally, 15 minutes?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just rattle off a couple.
Back to the rattle off. Three of it was actual game news.
Most of it was what the concierge show and shows and other shit like that.
We didn't get any of the hopefuls.
Okay.
Wish list where people were wanting the stuff dropped on NSO or anything like that.
Or that you heard that rumor, Brand, where there's somebody from the Switch emulator team was building that Pokemon Gen 1 through 4 combo card or whatever they're working on supposedly.
A combo retail release?
If
they didn't say it, they just said it's like a version that has the first 4 Pokemon gens.
If they did it, that's how I would assume they would do it, because they don't want it to go into the online service. They want you to pay for it.
Yeah, and I will pay for it.
I will pay for it.
1 through 4 is a hell of a collection. Probably one of those games is worth. I mean, buying that one is worth more than a physical copy of the original version of one of those. Correct? It's like these other collections we get where it's instantly like the Mario 3D All-Stars where it's instantly the value of one of the things.
Yeah, you have most of the collectors we wouldn't do it, but most of the collectors cursing everybody. Why would they make this? This made my collection invalid.
Oh, I'm good with that. Please devalue my game so more people can play games.
Here you go, Richard. I got a collection for you right here that has 20 Yu-Gi-Oh games. This is what you want.
I have no... Brant's our resident Yu-Gi-Oh person, I believe. You guys both have it. I have no... Blue Eyes White Dragon is all I know. I have no Yu-Gi-Oh reference whatsoever.
That's all you need to know.
Which one did you get, Cesar? I got the Harpy's Feather Duster I already have.
Let me open it up because I just opened it to make sure there's no googly eyes in there.
Brent, you already have that card? Can I start my Yu-Gi-Oh collection with that one, or is that an expensive one?
I already have that art.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, the problem is like,
I guess that's what everybody gets. I got the same thing as you. Harpies.
wow.
Feather duster.
Yeah, but there's 2 different art variations.
This is actual content. We need
to
actually be recording this nonsense.
There you go.
I mean, I'll bring it up
as we deep dive into
mine
the Yu-Gi-Ohs.
Mine is like glitterly and glossy.
because I got.
Oh, look at that Konami art on the packaging.
Give me 2 seconds.
Yeah. All right, Brent's stepping away to grab his copy of Days Gone.
I just can't believe they put out a collection with so many Yu-Gi-Oh games instead of like stretching it out to like 3 or 4 collections.
Yeah. I appreciate that.
They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 games on this one cart.
16 games. Is that worth it? Is this a limited run special?
I don't think so.
Oh.
I mean, I think Konami
It's okay.
owns
I got the same Harpies Feather Duster in the a long time ago.
Oh man, look at the Konami logo on the back.
As a promo with.
Oh, that's why it's a Game Boy Advance game.
Yeah.
Okay.
All of these games right here
are included in this collection.
Included in that collection.
Yeah, Brant. You can sell your originals.
I had way more Yu-Gi-Oh cards than I ever had Pokemon cards, so I can get behind this.
Really?
And
yeah. I've only had one Pokemon card. I went and checked, and it was whatever came with the trading card game on the GBA.
Well, the thing is, like, Yu-Gi-Oh doesn't really have any value to their cards because they kind of reprint them a lot.
I'm good with that too.
So the only like valuable Yu-Gi-Oh cards are whatever's kicking butt competitively.
Oh.
I mean, me and Richard were sitting there looking at the Magic Final Fantasy cards, and I was like,
"Oh gosh, yeah,
$200 for the booster packs." I was like, $200 for the booster packs. Do I buy the booster packs? Am I bringing back my 1980s childhood where I was buying those DuckTale sticker cards and putting them in the magazines when I was printing them out?
So stick with me. No. This was another thing like of our era of growing up where we were scrambling for things in that property, right? Like we needed the action figures, we needed the trading card game, we needed the magazines. Like we have all that information at our fingertips now. Like Cesar, your specific example, I have the Final Fantasy VII remake art book. Am I going to get anything out of the cards that I can't just thumb through that art book and get the same? Like, I'm not going to play the card game. So it's one of those type things.
To your point, the cards would not be played if I got them. It would be literally in a card holder just for the art.
Yeah, and I've got an actual bound book with that artwork that I can flip through when I want to.
So I mean, that would be the only thing I would do it for. So.
We were starved for stuff in our respective franchises. We would scramble for anything we could get our hands on. I liked when I had a subscription to Disney Adventures. Do you all remember Disney Adventures? It was like a little magazine. Like, it's where I first read Bone. You remember the comic Bone? It was very dark. Like these things were trying to eat these characters. I've talked about it on the show before, I think. And I would flip to the game section in just that because I mean, I would read the rest of the magazine, but I was always interested in the game one. And then there was an Ocarina of Time issue where it had Link on the cover, and I was like, holy shit, this is amazing. I'm just waiting for this type stuff.
You may have already seen this, Richard, but if you are a fan of the comic Bone, there's a I got stuck on YouTube one day going down the rabbit hole. There's a pretty good documentary of Bone.
Really?
YouTube, where they talked about how it was the most published comic book out there. Like it beat Marvel and DC because it talks about like how he came up with that comic in the 70s and he was trying to flesh it out and nobody would give him a chance. He tried to do it in a newspaper. Like they wouldn't let him do it. He started in a school newspaper. That's how the whole Bone comic came to be. It's pretty good. And it goes into detail about how like do
they reference Disney Adventures? That's where I read it at.
No, they said the only company that gave him a chance was Scholastic because they said every time he pitched it to somebody else, they wanted him to change his property or change ideas on there. And Scholastic's like, nope, we just want it as is, and that's what made it so popular because they pushed it out to a lot of schools. They were trying to get into comics, and they saw Bone as an opportunity to push it out to schools.
Imagine that the artist knew what he was talking about.
I was laughing because he said when they went to sign the deal the day before, they went and talked to one of the people at Scholastic. And then she had this book, and she's like, "Hey, can we change some of these words like damn and all that?" And he was like, "I'm not changing anything." She's like, "Oh, all right, we tried. So where you want to sign?"
They just wanted us to mention this. I have to bring up this one piece.
Yeah. because he thought the deal was gonna fall through because he's like, damn, another person who wants to change my work.
I need to watch that because I loved it. It was fucking awesome. I don't know
Yeah,
where
I
it went
thought-
or how it ended. I got it through this serial magazine that I was getting.
It's done. I think you can buy like I said before, Scholastic published the whole arcs, so you can buy it from the like Scholastic books. So
Bone. Shit was dope. It was dark, man. These monsters were like trying to eat this race of things, this species of creatures. And they were scary looking. They had glowing eyes and sharp teeth, and it was like nightmare fuel. It was good stuff. All right, we ready to hit the ground running? Do this thing?
After
We've been recording, so I got some post-credit stuff here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 338 of the NOFODcast. We are No Outside Food or Drink, the Southeast premier video game and morning news edition podcast. This is an AM special, gentlemen. How do we feel?
Great.
Rise and shine.
Tired is probably going to be the most common answer for me. So
I thought Cesar was going to say wake and bake. I thought I heard some wake and bake in there.
I don't think I've thought of Wake and Bake since Talladega Nights, and then you just mentioned it just now. So
I think that's shake and bake. I waked and baked my egg bites.
fair.
I had some egg bites. This week's news. I feel like I missed something. Did I miss something in that intro? No. It's been 2 weeks.
You introduced us.
I didn't, though. I didn't quite get through. I had to do the news first. Here we go. WB closing 3 games studios. ID at Xbox Showcase. Nintendo discontinuing rewards program? ? That sounds ominous. February Game Pass Wave 2. Megan Spur, aka the Megan Spur update. March PlayStation Essential, which I'm very excited about. I think this is a hell of a month for PlayStation Essential. And we have a special presentation of Brant's Pokemon Presents. Joining me this bright sunny morning. It's sunny where you guys are, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Oh, I'm one of your hosts on this bright sunny morning, Richard Bergman. Joined today by Newsmaster, as always, Brant McKee.
What's up?
Brant McKee, favorite breakfast item? This is a morning question. Favorite breakfast item?
I'm very partial to waffles.
Waffles, that's your jam. Any particular shape? Or you just like the standard, like, mash it down and get all the crevices in there?
Obviously a Belgian waffle. You can't beat Disney's Mickey waffles.
Yeah. Those are the way to get, because it's 3 waffles basically, right? Oh, like it's a miniature one,
yeah.
but it's 3. Are those what do we call those, abscesses? Pores? There's like areas for the butter and the syrup to go into.
Yeah, pretty much.
It doesn't sound right though. Pits, flavor pits. Mickey's flavor pits.
Yeah.
Fill them with butter and syrup.
No.
Oh, I'm partial to an omelet myself. I think you can do no wrong with an omelet. You got eggs and cheese, and then just fuck it, surprise me. Anything out of something like exotic, like sardines or something, I think I'm gonna be down with. Ham, jalapenos, bacon, whatever you want to put in there. Also here, our resident page master and lore master, guarding all the secrets to the sunrise. Cesar Concepcion II. Welcome, Cesar.
Hello. Hey.
Cesar, favorite breakfast item. What are you partial to consuming? It's not coffee. Coffee was the easy answer.
Poached eggs as runny as possible.
Poached eggs, runny as possible.
Yeah.
Are you like Hulk Hogan, where you can just throw it in a blender and blend them together and drink it?
No.
Was that Hogan that did that?
I don't know.
It's like a bodybuilder thing, right?
I think so.
Maybe they all did that.
I don't think in this age of bird flu, I'll be eating raw eggs. So
Eesh. So poached at least like does a certain amount of cooking to them?
yeah, I mean, you want it cooked, you just want it warm instead of fully cooked. So it's like you just heat it up to a certain point. So
they're like warmed eggs.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. There's something for everybody.
Yep.
That's all.
I'm always different, man.
That's the takeaway. Is that what goes on top of an eggs Benedict? So I eat scrambled eggs or like fried eggs. I don't do your level of eggdom.
Eggs Benedict is not a fully cooked yolk. So.
But it's on the end of the spectrum, like your preferred one is.
Yeah.
All right. It's turned into a breakfast show. I was hoping to steer this conversation this direction. Any cooking mama games that are breakfast specific?
It's about to be time for lunch or brunch.
We're barreling towards brunch time. Brent's like, I got mimosas ready to go, so we need to get this going. Oh, let's jump into the news then. It's been a couple weeks. Brant, I think you're going to mostly catch us up on the past week and a half. There will, of course, be some stories that fall between the gaps. Maybe we pick up some of those this next week. Maybe it'll be a light news week. Or potentially we go back to Tuesdays, do a quick turnaround.
Possibly. Maybe.
First up from VideoGamesChronicle.com and Tom Ivan. Warner Brothers is closing 3 game studios and canceling Wonder Woman. Middle-earth, Shadow of Mordor, and Shadow of War studio Monolith Productions is shutting down, with its development Wonder Woman game being axed, according to Bloomberg reporter Jason Schreier. His sources have also claimed that Warner is closing Multiversus studio, Player First Games, and mobile-focused studio WB San Diego. There was an update. Warner Brothers confirmed the reported closures in a statement issued to Kotaku reporter Ethan Gatch. Quote, "We have had to make some very difficult decisions to structure our development studios and investments around building the best games possible with our key franchises." These are the moneymakers, right? That's not part of the quote. Harry Potter, Mortal Kombat, DC, and Game of Thrones. DC, I'm assuming, is Death Stranding. Quote, "After careful consideration, we are closing 3 of our development studios, Monolith Productions, Player First Games, and Warner Brothers Games San Diego. This is a strategic change in direction and not a reflection of these teams or the talent that consist within them." I'm going to skip. This is just corporate jargon, right?
Yeah.
Wraps up with, "We greatly admire the passion of the 3 teams and thank every employee for their contributions, as difficult as today as we remain focused on and excited about getting back to producing high-quality games for our passionate fans and developed by our world-class studios and getting our games business back to profitability and growth in 2025 and beyond." To which I would want to know, what is your CEO making, Warner Brothers, that you cannot afford these 3 talented studios to be under your belt? Because Monolith made one of my favorite game engines in that Shadow of Mordor Nemesis system, which we never really saw again. Like, I thought that would be the new wave.
So apparently with this Wonder Woman game, that was part of one of the setbacks. They were going to use the Nemesis system, but in a different way, where she was like befriending different enemies and doing like some, and apparently the implementation just wasn't going right, and they just restarted as like a traditional action, like a superhero straight like action game kind of thing, action adventure.
And we've seen how those have been doing outside of Spider-Man recently.
It's like what you said, Brand. I think they said it was God of War inspired.
I want to see this game now. I think we need more of those.
I mean, obviously, one of the ex-developers came out and was talking about it.
Yeah.
And obviously, you don't want to bash your former company or former colleagues, but they said what they had was pretty good and was coming together really nicely, and it was a good game. And I kind of believe, I wanted to see what this game was going to look like, because we, aside from that one little CGI generated thing where we just like saw Wonder Woman's face for like, I don't know, 5 seconds. That's all we had. I would have liked to see some gameplay. Hopefully this may be one of those things that will under weird circumstances get like leaked out
in 10 years.
That would be
10 years. There's a data,
would be interesting.
A data breach of some sort.
But yeah, with Monolith, and Monolith is a big loss here, because they worked on so many different things. I know a lot of people bring up like the Fear franchise, and
that's right. I always got them confused with the Nintendo Monolith studio.
Yeah.
What was the other thing they did, Brand? Condemned on 360.
Yeah, Condemned. Those are great games. Both of those are really good. They helped with. There were support studio for a couple other big ones. Wow, if only we could actually look this up. That Nemesis system we keep speaking of in the Shadow of Mordor, and this was like a cross-generation game, right? Like it came out on PS3 and PS4, but it was only the like Xbox One version that would have the Nemesis system, not the 360 version. But essentially, you played it was a Lord of the Rings game, and you would play as an elfish character that was immortal. And you tried to take out this area of Mordor, I guess Shadow of Mordor, and there were orc captains and such that had their own personalities, and they learned the way you fought and things like that. And if you beat one or lost to one, it would shuffle this whole Nemesis system. It would change the rankings of the bosses and the characters. and they would learn your play style. So let's say you lost to one of these orc captains. When you went back to that area and tried to clear it, they would taunt you like, I killed you before. You're coming back for more. I know what you're going to do. Like it was just, I had never played anything like it. And it was one of those early standouts of next gen. Like it felt like I had that for PS4 and it was like, man, I could not have played this on something else. And at the time when you compared PS4 to PS3 in that title, it was not, it wasn't Assassin's Creed Black Flag where you could say, oh, the frame rate's a lot better on this one, or the loading times are quicker. This was a whole nother next gen experience only on Xbox One and PS4. And I think it won Game of the Year that year from a bunch of outlets because of how unique it was and felt like something that you had to have one of these new machines to play on. I need to give it another roll on Steam. They're always giving these two games away on Steam, but in a bundle usually. Do you have them, Brant, on your I think they're Steam Deck verified too.
I'm trying to remember. I think I may have
this bundle.
One of them I may have one or both actually.
My guess is like next Steam sale, if you dip in there and look at the one you don't have, they're going to give you a super discount on the, Steam does those bundle things like, you already have one of these games, here's an extra 20% off or 30% off if you get the other one.
Yeah. So
this definitely means we're getting a lot more Harry Potter, because that one was pretty successful, right? Harry Potter, that was like NPD. It was in the top NPD for the year, I believe, last year. What was that one called? I'm drawing a blank all of a sudden. I want to say Harry Potter Legends, but I know it's not that.
Hogwarts Legacy.
Hogwarts Legacy. Yeah, it's not even Harry Potter.
You can go with Harry Potter Legends. What's wrong with that?
And that was Portkey Games. That's like their own Harry Potter studio within this division.
Seems like they're doing the whole, Capcom method? Get their pillars going.
Yeah. And then they can branch out. Is Game of Thrones that hot of a property still?
They're pouring a lot of money into that game that's coming out right now. Just a weird time because there's not really anything Game of Thrones-ish, newish out there now.
Is House of Dragons still going? Like, is there another season of that coming up?
I feel like there's like one more season if it wasn't done, or it's done. It's one of the two. It's almost there.
And they're hinging on George R.R. Martin still writing his book. Like that's the marketing lead up is that he's been writing this book for 10 years and people are still creating content.
He has 3 more left, right? Is that what it is? I can't remember if it's 3 or 2. He's like almost done, but he's been stuck on that last couple for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this to the point where the show famously outpaced where his novels had gotten to, right? And had to come up with their own like alternate ending. Much to the despair of the fans.
By the time it comes out, it's been long enough, it might be time for a remake. So
yeah, right. Total reboot of the show.
Get it done right the first time. It might be some geniuses out there.
On a slight note, it's not a remake of any sorts, but there's a new Witcher anime movie it's on Netflix, but I watched it through alternate means. I had to wait a couple days for them to add English subtitles to this feed, but it is a very, very good Witcher story. That movie is awesome. It's not Henry Cavill or whoever the next dude is for Geralt. It's the one from the game. So you have Geralt from the game, you have Yennefer from the show, and there's one other major character from the show. Maybe Vesemir? Maybe Vesemir is the one from the game. But it's if you like Witcher Tales and like Monster of the Week style episodes, this is one of those, and it's very good all the way through. Like I felt like I was playing one of the Witcher story side beats. It was quite good. Animation was great, music was good. I loved that. When is that next Witcher season on Netflix with it's non Thor.
So it's Liam Neeson, not Neeson, but
that would be an interesting spin on the Witcher.
Hemsworth.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Name was escaping me. That the one that married Miley Cyrus?
Yes, at one point they were.
Brant squints at me like this is some deep lore, and they're not married any longer.
No.
He's the new Witcher. Maybe they're taking so long so he can buff up for the Witcher. It's a physically demanding role. Hearts go out to the Warner Brothers Studios employees that are closing. It's not your fault, Monolith. Somebody hopefully will scoop them up in that engine. How do these things usually work? Do they get to keep that intellectual? I mean, they probably can't call something the Nemesis system somewhere.
I would imagine at some point, Warner Brothers will probably just license that out for money, right? I think they have the IP hold on there until 2030 something. Is that somebody said?
On Lord of the Rings?
Like no, the Nemesis system.
Oh.
To like 2034, 2036 or something like that. So I would imagine somebody will come up to them and they're in the market to make money. They'll be like, yeah, you can. Well,
yeah,
pay to license this engine, or so I'm assuming that's coming.
So the engine falls under your concept of we don't want to do it, but we'll take some money from for you to do something with it. Concept.
I feel bad for Monolith, but I feel like we'll see more games with that Nemesis system now because I got a good feeling they're gonna lease that out and make quick cash off of it as much as possible.
Start latching it onto things.
Yeah.
Maybe it's in-house and they use it on the next Harry Potter thing and it's some sort of taking down wizards in the area and you have that whole... I don't know, it was just so well implemented in that Mordor game. Maybe everybody was afraid to try to replicate it somehow. All right, next up, ID at Xbox Showcase. I have no internet, it says. Chrome died on me. I'm looking at the little dinosaur. All right, I'm back. Everything announced and revealed from Joe Screbbles, Xbox Wire editor-in-chief. Maybe he's Megan's coworker? IGN kicked off its annual Fan Fest event today with an exciting new ID at Xbox showcase. IGN's shilling for Xbox. Release dates, new gameplay, and much more from the incredible slate of indie developers working on games for Xbox platforms right now. Oh my god, this is a ton of shit. Holy shit. Is there a good summary somewhere? I thought I saw Helldivers in there. That would have been big news, right?
No, not Helldivers.
Jump Ship. Totally different. Look at that shit. Yeah. It looks like
Jump Ship looks really, really fun.
I know we should try this one out. Oh boy, this is going to be a meaty bit here. We've got 33 Immortals. It's a long-awaited co-op action roguelike, which comes out March 18th. Are all of these Game Pass? Do we know this? I think this is an important bit.
I don't think not necessarily. Them are.
Yeah.
No.
The next one is.
Oh, the next one is, and it's out today as of the news. So definitely out today of this recording. Balatro, the beloved Balatro. Has anyone fallen under the Balatro spell? I know no one's brought it up for games played.
I played a little bit of it, but it hasn't pulled me like that.
I've gone so far as to download it from Apple Arcade. If you are an Apple Arcade person, you get Balatro Plus is what they call all their stuff on Apple Arcade, but I have yet to try it either. But the difference in this one, not only is it on Game Pass, it's called Friends of Jimbo, which includes Deep Breath, says the Xbox Wire, Fallout, Assassin's Creed, Civilization 7, Rust, Slay the Princess, Bugsnax, Dead by Daylight, and YouTube channel Critical Role content. So it's a big collaboration with themed cards. I did that. I didn't even need to do a deep breath. I did fine with that.
Yeah, you did good.
Next up was Blueprints, launching with Game Pass on April 10th. I may or may not refer to my orange cat as the Orange Prince, so I'm curious about this Blueprints game, and I do not see.
Complimentary color.
Brent laughs. He knows he has multiple names for his multiple cats. Truly unique experience, Xbox Wire says. Blueprints combines exploration, puzzles, map making. I do that for a living. I don't want to do that in a game. And card game systems to create a game we've truly never seen before. Solve the mysteries of Mount Holly Manor by literally piecing its rooms together and solving mysteries hidden throughout the house you build as a result. Oh, my kids would be into this. This might be for my kids to play. Discover its secrets when the game launches on April 10th, coming to Xbox Series X, S, Windows PC, and launching day one with Game Pass. I don't know why I was looking for the Game Pass inclusion in the intro article, because this is the Xbox Wire. They're absolutely going to point out when a game is Game Pass day one as we go through these titles. I do not mind alternating if somebody wants to tell us about Buckshot Roulette or just mention the name and keep rolling.
Buckshot Roulette is something that's been pretty popular with VTubers for a while. You just, I guess... Brand can confirm. I think you're put in this room where you do.
It's kind of like Saw-esque.
Oh,
yeah, if you think like Saw, but like it's you and another person. You're like, if I remember correctly, you're chained to a table, and then there's a shotgun in front of you as well.
It's Russian roulette, yeah. So
and you can do a certain amount of actions in the turn, and one of them is like try and free yourself, and the other one is pick up and shoot the gun and,
at the other person or yourself.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
The other person.
Yeah, because they keep shooting at each other. It's like Russian roulette, and you can do stuff like you can give them drugs and like to get an extra turn, and it's like I think they just added a multiplayer component to it just recently on the PC.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that's going to be on this version as well.
This sounds pretty wicked.
It's a good stream.
Skip past this one. This sounds crazy.
Yeah, it's a good interesting. Stream. It's good to play online. I think by yourself would be. I think it will lose its appeal quickly, but it's good to.
Should we stream this? Is it only 2 players?
I think it might be 4.
Okay.
It might be because I think it's a round table now instead of just you and that weird guy in the mask.
I also really enjoy the art style. Like it's like a pseudo, maybe PlayStation 1, but way better textures and stuff without the dithering.
Yeah. Kind of.
Yeah. Outside of that, you have Descenders Next, which is a sequel to the downhill biking Game Pass sensation. Oh, and the Buckshot Roulette is coming to Xbox and Game Pass. If I didn't mention that before, my apologies. And I was like, I guess is
there a date on this one? Wait, it's out now. It's out now?
Maybe, because I don't have a date on there. So
this looks like a VR game. That's what I'm looking at with these hands moving around. Did it come from VR to your knowledge?
Not that I know of yet. So Descenders Next is just a snowboarding, I guess, sequel around that downhill biking game.
I heard Descenders was pretty solid. Like, it was a lot of fun.
This is also, I've heard so as well. It's also coming out on Game Pass April 9th. You have Echo Weaver coming to Xbox and Game Pass.
Metroid Brainia.
Yep.
What the hell is that?
Adventure platformers and the likes of Outer Worlds.
Is this a Brant game?
To create a time-looping world where knowledge is your greatest weapon, which is interesting.
I'm getting Braid vibes from the trailer.
The trailer offers clues on how to cross multiple loops. You piece together the story and shape up a collapsed utopia and escape the temporal prison you're trapped within. So, Echo Weaver is coming to Xbox with Game Pass. I'm assuming no date yet.
I'll look at the end of the trailer and see if I see anything.
Herdling's coming to Xbox and Windows PC. And from the mechanic-packed adventures of recent years and from the form of far-lone sails and far-changing tides. I'm not familiar with any of those.
The far genre.
So it looks like you are herding cattle. So what it looks like here. And it will be coming to the Xbox Series consoles and Windows PC this summer.
These are some interesting-looking creatures. This looks like a good show. I hate that I missed this one.
Yeah, it was, from what I've seen on this, was this the one they teamed up with IGN?
Right? Yeah, IGN's Fan Fest.
So. Yeah. And then you have Suda51 and Swery's team up, which is Hotel Barcelona, which is the 2.5D action platformer. Pits you against the horror-inspired denizens of the titular hotel, and the new trailer dives deeper into the slasher phantom, a brutal game mechanic that summons echoes of the player's past, runs to aid them in battle.
Hotel Barcelona. Was this announced before?
Yeah, it sounds like Killer 7S stuff in here.
But it's definitely the 2.5D is pretty strong in here.
Yeah. It's if you watch the trailer, it looks very trippy.
It really does. Which
outside of that,
sense coming from those two people.
Yeah. Outside of that, my favorite announcement from the show was Jump Ship.
Helldivers? Jump Ship.
Yeah, because it was developed by Haze Light and Mojang alumni. And I think it reminds me of, was it I always forget the name of that damn brand. I'll do the shit all.
There's no trailer here. This one doesn't have a trailer.
It's that company game, remember, with the 4-player one? We got to go on that planet and discover shit.
Lethal Company?
Lethal Company.
Yeah, that name always drops out when I want to talk about it. It's kind of like that. It reminds me of that. But it's like, it's just 4 people cooperating on the ship. It has like those little bits where people holding pizza and shit like that. That's something that you would find in Lethal Company. Those kind of fun bits. It's something that would come from that game. And it's just a bunch of random stuff on there. It looks like a bit of Among Us in there with the ship mechanics about keeping stuff together and stuff like that. And it's coming to Xbox Game Preview this summer. I think this is a one of those early access games that's coming to Steam as well. So, I know Sony's very particular on those, so it's probably going to be on those two platforms for a while.
We're in the midst of Steam Next Fest. I wonder if there's any way that it's included in that Next Fest stuff.
Could be. Next Fest is going on right now.
Yeah.
I believe.
What's this called again?
Then
Jump Ship.
Jump Ship. As Richard looks into that, we have Liza P. Overture, which is the story trailer with the announcement that came from the State of Play.
Mm-hmm.
I know Liza P was part of Game Pass, but I didn't think we got an indication that this DLC was coming to Game Pass, right, Brent? I didn't see anything about that.
Yeah.
So we
now
got
we
more.
do.
Yep. So the also announced was the Lonesome Guild was a world premiere, and it's from a new game for Dot Nod, which is the Life is Strange people, or my most forgotten game from that company, which is Remember Me. I still love that game. Which go action RPG full of heart, battle, and bonds that change everything. I don't know if this was was this supposed to be like a Pokemon-esque thing? It was like a weird RPG MOBA-esque.
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe it. I mean, it was like a top-down, and it was like an action RPG.
The
mixture.
Sorry to derail. Jump Ship looks like our type of shit, y'all. Like really looks like our type of shit.
I told you that was my game of the show, man.
Holy crap!
I'm 100% in there. Yeah. We had Moonlighter 2, which is also coming to Game Pass sometime in 2025, and the series consoles and PC. And this is just a sequel of the game Moonlighter. Just that this time it's doing a new full 3D isometric look, offering new challenges and rewards. So it's a new engine, same gameplay.
I feel like I have this on everything, and I have never played Moonlighter. You guys giving it a go on anything?
I have not.
Yeah. I think when GameStop was actually making sales, I think that one year where they were just like clearancing off a whole bunch of Switch type S games in that December right around Christmas. I think I picked it up for like $10 or something like that. I remember going to the store picking it up. I don't think I've played it though. I do have the first one.
I feel like it's one that I get every time I do one of those fanatical game pools. I get a code for Moonlighter.
Then we have Outbound, which is coming in 2026, and this is an open world exploration game that sets you off with an empty camper van, and you sees you turn into a home of your dreams, alone or together with friends.
Oh, I prefer with friends.
Yeah, always. Scavenge materials, crafts, and build in and top of the vehicle with modular parts, advance the technology and efficiency, use energy to power your homes, while adjusting your playstyle to adapt to new landscapes and changing environmental conditions. It's coming to series consoles in 2026. Then we have a spiritual successor, Ratatan.
This looks exactly like Patapon.
Patapon, even with the stylized logo.
The logo looks identical.
This was from the creators of Patapon, and this is exactly what you said it is. When you look at it, it is very much a spiritual creation of Patapon, outside of maybe the 4-player co-op, which is kind of new. I don't think that was a co-op with something that was in those original games.
We have to do that.
Then you have 100 characters on screen in a single fight. So, and that's coming to, I think, everything. Xbox later this year.
What is this? Cameo? Elements of Power?
Yeah. And then you had Revenge of the Savage Planet coming to Game Pass May 8th. And I think this is the sequel to the popular Savage Planet, who went through that whole thing where, what was that company, Richard, that you were a big fan of? It started with a Stadia and then ended with a
What?
Because you loved you like the last match of PUBG I won was on a Stadia.
I did.
I don't know why.
It was.
Why you sound like that, but that's pretty much.
I mean, that's exactly what I sounded like when I was victorious on the last round of PUBG I won was on Stadia.
So remember, this company that did the Savage Planet was purchased by Stadia, Google.
They're under that
back off.
Krypton or whatever, Capton.
Yeah. So this is a sequel to Savage Planet, which they're back into it now.
This looks totally different from that first one, I feel like.
Yeah, the big go in this one is co-op. So it's something they made a change in.
Wasn't the last one co-op? You and I talked about playing that years ago when the first one came out.
I think they eventually patched it in there. I think it was made as an afterthought. If I remember correctly. I don't know.
Oh, added it later after the fact?
Yeah. All right, then we had Rock Beast, which was their world premiere, featuring Iggy Pop. Not Iggy Pop, Iggy Pop.
I see what they did there.
Yeah. This is a blah, 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 rock and roll band manager game where you play the manager of a legendary 90s band.
Paz Gordon the Deer. This art style looks amazing.
Yeah, it feels like it fits the 90s MTVS thing. Lead a band of misfits on the roller coaster ride to stardom, the age of MTV, rock anthems, and bad haircuts. This is coming to Xbox Series consoles later this year.
They're all animals. I see like a deer, a fish.
Then you have
ostrich.
Tanuki Pawn Summer, which is something that was introduced in Tokyo Game Show.
This looks extremely good, and it is on my Steam wish list.
Yeah.
But it's also come to Game Pass.
So you're performing stunt field delivery missions alongside relaxing in his beloved town. From baseball to sumo practice to drumming, Tanuki's Pawn Summer arrives late in 2025. And it's also, as Richard has mentioned just now, coming to Game Pass.
It's like a Tanuki on a BMX. He's not just on any bike. Like, he's doing all these crazy tricks and like grinding rails and fences and all sorts of stuff. It looks awesome. Definitely trying this one out on Game Pass.
If only it was a spiritual successor to my least favorite NES game that I could never beat, which would be Paperboy. All right, now I never got past day 4. All right, Tempopo coming to Game Pass on April 17th. This is from the team of Unpacking. Finally, they don't have to worry about somebody making 85 different versions of their game. Hopefully for now.
My kids loved Unpacking.
Tempopo is a puzzle adventure bursting with music. Playing as Hannah, you enter a fantasy world in which you need to conduct the titular Tempopo creatures to solve puzzles scattered across the world's sky islands before heading back home to cultivating her garden. It's coming to series consoles and Xbox One and Game Pass.
This gives me isometric vibes of what was that? Toad's treasure track, Captain Toad's treasure tracker thing. Those puzzles and the way you could spin that world and like try to figure out where things were underneath the map and stuff like that is kind of how this looks. This looks awesome. Total pivot from Unpacking, as you were saying. They just totally like shred that gameplay style.
Yeah, kudos to them.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like they want to make what they want to make. So then you have Throne Catalyst. Launching on Throne.
From Disney,
Catalyst,
publisher, big fan. And the development team at
June 17th.
Bethel Games. Who is that?
Bethel Games is Dave's. It was that weird Dave's game. He made a lot of those indie games right when PS4 came out. I think it was like Dave's game.
Is this lining up for the new Tron? Are we getting a new movie or a series or something?
A new movie with everybody's favorite actor, Jared Leto.
Oh, Lord.
That's when most people start to groan. Is when they hear the Jared Leto. They're like, oh.
It's like a hack and slash. This looks good.
Yep. Coming out June 17th on the series consoles. And this is basically, you play as a game's protagonist, Exo, who's fighting for her survival in the arena. I think this was announced a while back. We just haven't heard any updates. Now we got a release date. We got one of the craziest names on here, which is Ultimate Sheep Raccoon, which is coming to Game Pass.
What the hell?
And this is a chaotic side-scrolling bike riding party game. 8-player mode. And then it's basically you do a lot of different blocks to hinder your movement or launch you ahead of the competition. So
this is a Fall Guys type thing or Party Animals, whatever that one is.
There was already a game in this franchise. I think it's Ultimate Horse Chicken or Chicken Horse or something like that.
Sure, Brant. Yeah. We can't fact check that.
That's literally it's like a platforming thing, and there's a flagpole, kind of like Mario, and your goal is to jump the platforms and get up there. But each player can, like Cesar said, you can set an obstacle, or you can set like a springboard or something that helps you jump up there faster and bypass some of those, or you can place some damn spikes or something, So this looks like it's just an evolution of that with like just bike tracks and things like that. So
then you have Wax Heads launching in summer 2026. This is coming out for the series consoles, and this is like a slice of life narrative game set around running a struggling record store.
This looks good.
And then probably the best looking game to me, which was Woodo, which looks like pieces of wood, is coming to Xbox. This cozy, story-driven game showed off more of its art style, blah, 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 blah. This is a story about literally building the world, pulling 3D objects from your menus to fill a scene, and revealing more of the tale main characters, Foxy and Ben, as you go. Woodo is coming to the series consoles.
I need to go back and watch this whole show with my kids. I think there's a bunch of indie-type things that they would really dig. Cesar, you're right. It's like claymation style. Like, not even claymation, just like bits of clay.
Yeah.
Everything's fully modeled like almost like fondant style, like a cake. It's very unique looking.
Yeah, that's probably the most interesting looking game I had on there. So, but that is your this brand has started. This is your Xbox Wire from your Xbox ID show.
We made it. We all had a piece of that huge story.
Yeah.
Next up is from Video Games Chronicles, Chris Scullion. Nintendo giveth and Nintendo taketh away.
Of course.
We've had gold and platinum points for, several years now. Since the 3DS and Wii U.
Mm-hmm.
The rewards program launched right aside the new Nintendo account program in 2016. Platinum points and gold points could be exchanged for physical and digital goods. The gold points we get usually from purchases of games. If you have your physical game on Switch, you go to claim points. If you buy your stuff digitally, you probably are used to seeing, hey, you got this many coins.
Oh boy, I need to go through and pop in all my cartridges, don't I? No.
Nope.
Okay. All right.
They're literally, if you haven't been doing that,
they die in a year.
It's no good.
Yeah, they die in a year.
That's right.
Yeah, that was the other implementation. Is if for whatever reason you got a used game, it was already registered to one user, so you couldn't claim points on that. And also, if you got a game and didn't claim it within a year of the game being out, then you lost those points as well. So
crazy to
that
me.
was always...
Is that an incentive just to buy it while it's new sort of thing?
I guess.
Possibly.
Where unless you bought it digital, I think if you buy something digital, you're going to get the platinum points if it says it's eligible. I think there's a few games that don't have gold points tied to them.
I think I always forgot to redeem my cartridge once, but if I bought something digitally, it just kept, like, I just played with that balance for digital purchases, I feel like.
And of course, your platinum points you got from performing various tasks and things like that. And they actually already had expiration dates. I get, emails like, hey, your platinum points are expiring, make sure you redeem them. And there hasn't, to me, there hasn't been anything on there in years really worth it. A lot of times you can download a background for your phone, or it's
which someone buys it and puts it on Reddit, and then you can go find that collection somewhere.
It's not back in the days of the Wii U and 3DS where you could go on there and get soundtracks and
posters,
exclusive posters and stuff. There's been a few things where you could go on and get and really it's more like Japan has the more creative stuff. Like they had those little Earthbound characters. They looked like little knit characters from the Earthbound series. There was like a set of 4 that I think you could redeem your points for. But Nintendo just recently announced on March 25th, 2025, the ability to earn gold points will end.
Is
this part of like a Switch 2 realignment for network services and things, I'm hoping?
Probably. After this date, players will no longer be able to earn gold points when purchasing digital software off the store. It says via a download code. I know there will be certain games. They said there are certain games that are actually going to be immune to this. I think Xenoblade Chronicles gets in like right before the cutoff, or right after the cutoff, maybe.
But they can force everybody to buy points. Buy the Xenoblade Chronicles X. Yeah.
After March 25th, you will still be able to use your points before they expire. Gold points are valid through 12 months from the date they were earned as well. I'm trying to see if there's anything else. I think that's it as far as the gold points go. I mean, hopefully they'll, like you said, it's just to realign and they'll announce the Switch, and shortly after they'll announce some kind of other rewards or benefits or something. Nintendo's always had something.
Yeah.
So I would hope they would continue to
even on the Wii
provide you with some kind of little benefit.
Yeah, even on the Wii and DS, I would remember you would get a little I can't remember what that program was called, but you would redeem those things on the back of that. I don't even know what that got you. I think that was back in the day. That was just
the My Nintendo rewards.
Yeah. I think that stuff was like free shipping. I feel like
My Nintendo Club or something like that too.
That's it.
Yeah.
And recently we had to pay for shipping for stuff, and I'm just like, I don't want to go through the effort of. I think the last time I did it, I got some posters, but I've also gotten like the Ocarina 3D soundtrack, and I got a Majora's Mask 3D soundtrack with that program, the old program. Yeah, I'm ready for something new. I think it needs to be more intuitive. Like I've been buying all these games and I'm missing out on this stuff, so there needs to be some sort of in between there. You think they do a digital thing like the PlayStation Stars where you can end up redeeming? I mean, it's already sort of similar,
but it's possible. Because PlayStation Stars, you can redeem for certain games.
Right.
You can redeem for the digital collectibles, or you can just straight up redeem for money. So
I have this just crept into my head. Remember they had that NDA for that live service game that people were testing that was like a Minecraft-ish thing? I could see them sending, if they're going to build a lot of stuff around that being some sort of PlayStation Home hub, I can see them sending a reward system towards redeemable skins and stuff. I mean, let's admit, like getting soundtracks and posters and things like that, that's us stuff. That's not your 95% of the market share interest. They want skins and currencies and emotes and things like that. So I could see those rewards for, all right, buy Donkey Kong Country and get a DK attachment for whatever that
get your banana shaped controller cover.
Digital one though, not an actual like Switch 2 controller cover.
And then I think, and Brand could confirm, I think they also mentioned that the game vouchers are going away, right? Those are only for Switch 1 games, right? They said that if you have any vouchers left over, you can only claim those on Switch 1.
Yeah, we're getting a total network retooling. My number one request still is chat. Let me voice chat with people, and I would maybe play some Nintendo Switch Online games. Remember how we had to bootleg Splatoon and pull up was that Discord we did? We were all chatting together? Bullshit, man.
It just, Nintendo needs, don't be so Nintendo.
Yeah.
They're always so far behind on some of this stuff, like the inability to voice chat,
right?
Or party up, or even search for your friends. Like you literally just have to exchange friend codes. And on top of all that, the fact that they kind of went backwards on the Switch. Even me and my son were talking about literally yesterday how it was so crazy that on your last handheld, the 3DS, you had themes with like specialized music tied to them.
I bought a bunch of those.
As well as shop music. And also it was easy to create folders, and they were right there, not these like BS folders. That you have to scroll all the way over and then access a specific screen, and look, here they are. And
those are not real folders. I agree with you, because they tried to make a cross media bar without the cross, so it's just a media bar. Boish and I were talking yesterday about this chat feature because he loves Mario Kart, and I was like, well, when you play with your friends, how did that go down? What did you do? And it's this thinking of like, okay, we didn't just join a party. He's like, I think we just got on a group call and had it on speakerphone. I was like, that sucks. This is a horrible implementation. And I brought up Cesar and I playing Black Ops 2 on Wii U, and that worked. Like, we plugged in a headset and it worked.
Yeah.
And the Wii U had like a FaceTime thing. Like, you could just video call people.
The Wii had that too, but you had to buy that little camera thing, right? or not. It wasn't even a camera thing. It was literally just a like a little speaker.
The one that came with Animal Crossing.
Yeah,
I remember we did PS3 video calls too. That's stuff that's gone away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's and I don't mind, like, we're bemoaning some of these features, and I've got younger kids, right? So I want some of those restrictions in place. But this is the same company that's also allowed you to set up two-factor. So if I'm old enough to set up two-factor and having a separate, Microsoft account or Google Authenticator, let me also enable these more connected, rich features.
Well, the other two in the game already, it goes back to Nintendo kind of being behind when it comes to certain features, because if you set up a kid's account, on your Xbox or whatever, you can actually physically set up restrictions.
Yeah.
They can't get into the store and buy whatever they want. They can't, do certain online interactions, and it can be done. It's not, I would say it's not rocket science, but it is some coding knowledge.
And that's their top. It's like their number 3 most watched YouTube video is the Bowser and Bowser Jr. like kids Switch restrictions thing. It's way up there on their views on Nintendo's channel. It's like above the Tears of the Kingdom trailers and stuff. I'm like, holy shit, there's people watching this thing. Yeah, give us some flexibility. And we're talking about this because we want this as consumers, and they just sold 180 million Switch units or some crazy shit. Like, they have no reason to want to have to pivot from any of that stuff. They sold a fuck ton of these things. They have no reason to. Okay. Gold points are going away. What's the deadline? March 25th. Oh God, it's fast.
2025. It's very soon.
It's looming like our Skype deadline. The dawn of the final day. All right, Megan Spur time. Coming soon to Game Pass. This comes from Megan Spur at Xbox Game Pass, senior community lead and the Xbox Wire. Available today. This is as of February 18th. So almost a week and a half ago. You have Avowed, which is out on cloud, PC, and Xbox Series X and S. Friend of the show, Stephanie, has been playing a lot of Avowed, I believe, on PC. Coming soon, EA Sports F1. What's that?
Just to let you know, it runs, Richard, when you get a chance, it runs very well on that Asus ROG. Very, very well.
The PC one?
Yeah.
Not cloud?
It doesn't. Nope. You can put it on medium settings, get 60 frames. It does it very, very well.
Might give this a spin. That sounds pretty good.
I followed somebody's guide on there. I think you do. It does the upscaling with the FSR, and it looks pretty good. Yeah, I think they put on 720p medium settings and then upscaled, and it plays at 60 frames.
It's fine for that screen. We know it. The Switch proved that.
The only bad thing is, as you know, you have to have a wall outlet close by. It's going to eat that battery.
I might bring that up in my Final Fantasy VII Remake adventures, in which I go from 60% to 20% in about 20 minutes. It's bad. EA Sports F1 24, cloud console and PC via EA Play, February 20th. Hold on, I need to pivot back to Avowed. I just thought of something. The PC Game Pass stuff, does that launch out of that Xbox launcher that's on the... Okay, I thought it did. I couldn't remember. I was like, if I go to do this, where do I find this thing at? It's all in that one catalog. Yeah.
You go in there and you click on it to download, and it launches in the Microsoft Store to download.
Because I think it's what I did for Gears Ultimate. I just can't remember. I think it was the one time I did. Yeah. Warhammer 40K Rogue Trader, Cloud, PC, and Xbox Series X and S, February 20th. Game Pass Ultimate, PC Game Pass, and Game Pass Standard. It kind of sucks that we have multiple tiers of Game Passes now. We're back to the gold, silver thing. That's an isometric RPG set in the grim darkness of the 41st millennium. Watch Dogs Legion. Is this a return to Game Pass? I feel like it's been out before.
Feel like it is. It doesn't say it is, but I definitely feel like it's been in there before.
I know it's been part of that PlayStation Plus before. Who knows, man?
Yeah.
I think it's getting around.
Everything bleeds together.
It does. This is just your chance. If you miss Watch Dogs Legion, give it a go. February 25th, so that's already out as well. In case you missed it, Rise Son of Rome available with cloud gaming on Game Pass Ultimate. That's cool. That got a PC release, didn't it? Do we know if that's in the PC Game Pass?
I think it did get a PC release. I don't know if it's on the PC side. I think I bought it on Steam. I can tell you now. Hold
I
on.
believe I own it on Steam too. We end up in these weeds of like, okay, this is available in this, but do I also have this on 5 other platforms? Is where
it is not in the. It's not part of the Windows Store. I guess it was right before the push to PC. So,
but it's on Steam, and I think it's Steam Deck verified. I believe it was
yes. I want to say it was published by Crytek on Steam. I think they did it without Microsoft.
That's right. I always wanted to play this one. I heard it was really good, and it was kind of like this standout Xbox One launch title.
It's still probably one of the better looking Xbox One games.
Yeah, at launch. So. DLC updates for Sea of Thieves. In my quick jump ship research, they were saying it's Sea of Thieves in space, so I'm also very intrigued by this. There's 10 minutes of co-op gameplay that just got published for Jump Ship. This looks like our shit. I'm pretty excited by this discovery.
Yeah.
Ark Survival Ascended, that turned into, we thought it was a dinosaur game. It's all kind of crazy shit. Greek mythology's in this one. Forza Motorsport Update 17 adds a bunch of new cars. Age of Mythology Retold Immortal Pillars expansion is March 4th. That is a brand new expansion. Game Pass Ultimate perks include benefits to Madden NFL 25, Minecraft, 1 month Marketplace Pass, which I'm currently paying 2 versions of that. Monster Hunter Now gets you a Monster Hunter Now bundle. This sounds like a fever dream. Naruto 4-movie collection, free movies. You get them now. They're not available in movies anywhere following this. Leaving Game Pass. Here's the important part. February 28th. So these are already gone. Sorry, folks. F1 22, Grease, Maneater, Paw Patrol World, Space Engineers, Warhammer 40k Bolt Gun, Wolong, Fallen Dynasty, and Yakuza 3 and 4 remastered specifically, respectively. Oh, also, this is pretty big at the bottom. We're adding more games over time to the Stream Your Own Game collection for Game Pass Ultimate members. Go to xbox.com/play to see the list of available cloud playable games to stream on supported devices if you own them. I'm very interested in that. We have brought this up many times on the show, the conversion of your catalog to being able to stream them anywhere via their cloud service being a huge perk of that. Moving on, we're going to wrap up with your PlayStation Plus monthly games for this month. This is one of the best months in a long time, I would say. I think this is phenomenal. There's something for everybody. I guess I'll knock this out. March 4th, you're going to get Dragon Age The Veilguard. Only on PS5. Have we started the PS5 only pivot here?
Partially.
Partially, yeah.
The next 2 games are PS4.
Yeah, those are compatible for everything. Followed by Sonic Colors Ultimate and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles The Cowabunga Collection, which is a phenomenal collection. You still have until March 3rd, so 2 more days as of the recording, to download Payday 3 High on Life and Pac-Man World Repack. And the PlayStation app reminded me like 2 days ago I had not done this, so I'm glad I popped in there and redeemed these.
I did it just now on the app. I completely forgot.
Yeah. We all need to play Payday 3. That seems like an us game, and we seem to be tiring of Master Chief Collection. Maybe we try out some of these other multiplayer experiences for Saturday night streams. See if they catch our fancy. Guys, what do we think about Dragon Age, Sonic Colors Ultimate, and Cowabunga Collection? That's strong. These are
good
strong games. Yeah. A lot of hours in Veilguard you can spend. Sonic Colors was a great upgrade to that Wii exclusive. And then Cowabunga Collection is a Digital Eclipse joint, putting together tons of Turtles games over the years in a beautiful package. That's a great get. And these all are good Portal candidates, I would say. Like, I try to think of like Portal games, right? Something you just fire up, and there's something for every flavor of a Portal session in which you might get more than an hour or 30 minutes of handheld gaming out of. We've reached the point of the show in which Richard regrets starting up Final Fantasy VII Remake on a dedicated handheld with a small battery life, instead of maybe streaming said game from a PS5 to a handheld with much longer battery life. Is that our segue?
Well, hold on.
Oh, Brant's Pokemon Presents, brought to you by Brent McKee, our resident Pokemon correspondent, is live. Brent, you're there with the Pokemon and Professor Oak. I see him in the background.
No, Professor Oak, he's back here.
He's in a. Why is he trapped in a box? We hear muffled screams coming from the box.
So, just a few days ago, there was a Pokemon Presents. It mainly covered a lot of every piece of media they have across their franchise, from the trading card game to the Netflix series, and their mobile games, Pokemon Pocket, Pokemon, what is it? It's not Shuffle. It's something else.
Rumble,
maybe. But they did have some new game announcements, starting out with the trailer showing, which was slightly misleading for people that wished they had the legacy games show up. They had two kids sitting on the ground, link cabled together with their Game Boys, battling it out, and then it transitioned to the two people sitting on the couch on the N64, battling it out.
Oh, this is cruel. This is cruel. I see where this is going.
And then it went to the GBA, and then the DSs, and then 3DSs, and then it transitioned to somebody on their mobile phone, Pokemon battling, and somebody on the Switch playing the exact same game. So this new series, this new game in the series, it's called Pokemon Champions. It's going to be a game focused on battle. It very much seems like a Pokemon Stadium successor.
For mobile
kind of deal. Will be released for the Switch and mobile, so iOS, Android. You'll be able to pull in Pokemon from your Pokemon home apps or the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet games. I don't think there was a release date. I'm double checking. I don't see one. So I don't, there's no release date for it yet, but it is upcoming.
This is mobile, right? This is mobile.
Well, it's for Switch and mobile. So you can play it on either
Switch or mobile.
And the very last one announcement that they had during the Pokemon Presents was an update for Pokemon ZA. So last time we had just gotten an announcement that this was in production. Now there was an actual trailer. We got the release window of late 2025. New mechanics, showing that this basically kind of builds on that Pokemon Legends Arceus style, where you can like free run while your Pokemon is battling. But in this instance, you can actually, your Pokemon will follow you during a battle, which leads to you being able to dodge certain attacks. Some attacks actually have a range or may like leave something on the field for damage, and it looks pretty interesting. We got to look at the starters as well.
What game is this? What is the Parisian one with the big Eiffel Tower in the middle?
That's X and Y.
X and Y. Lumio City.
It took place in Kalos, and the city is Lumio City.
Why does this engine look so much better than the one they use for the mainline ones? Like, was it Cesar put a bunch of time into Arceus and was talking about it? And that was like it was super highly reviewed, and everybody seemed to love that good. One.
Arceus is very good. I know there were some people complaining about if this game is going to take place in just the city, it would be nice for the city to have like more details and more life. People were noticing that like the windows are very JPEG-y, like just like a picture of just a gray window you can't see through. There's no definition. There's like so.
It's a Switch game at this point. This is what you get, right?
Yeah.
I think we're all secretly hoping this will be a Switch 2 game at some point, right?
Yeah,
Switch 2.
Oh God, Grant, I just saw your windows. It's just it's a texture. It's one texture and one polygon.
Just a texture.
Yeah. Oof.
It's like the Final Fantasy VII remake door on PS4.
The remake door.
the door.
They said it was designed in an N64 cartridge.
So it's they did say this is going to be released for the Nintendo Switch family of systems. I don't know if that means that there will be two different versions, or because we still don't know if popping this game into the Switch 2, they just have a patch, or what the hell's going on, if there will be two different SKUs.
Some sort of native upscaling feature.
I mean, we literally have, 31, 32 days until we find out, April 2nd?
Yep. A month and a day.
Yeah. It still looks so much better than what I've seen from the mainline. It still Pokemon looks really games. Good. Yeah.
And they showed off like these little, because it's about the development of the city. They're setting up these different zones so Pokemon and people can live together, and you can go into these zones and encounter different Pokemon and things like that. And they have the character AZ from the X and Y games. He's running like a hotel now, so you can. There's stuff going on with him.
That was that old dude I saw with the.
Yes.
Yeah, with the cane. Performance looks like shit though. Just like hot take right off the rip.
I'm about to say,
chugging, man.
Do not be surprised, because Arceus is a good game, but you can tell it has a problem with draw distance, because there's some Pokemon that will, if you look far away enough and there's like a flying Pokemon, it's jittering at like 1 frame.
Like the Kirby, like every the Kirby 2 seconds. Enemies.
Yeah, he's and what was it, Scarlet and Violet, or even with how long ago that game was released, the Pokemon Company and Nintendo should be ashamed with how poor that game performs sometimes. It's bad.
And it's like what Richard always says. There's 150 million Switches sold. Yeah. So no matter what, there will probably be a Switch version. I'm not going to be surprised if there's a Switch 2 version.
I was going to say it would be very Nintendo for them to release a Switch version and a Switch 2 version, rather than pop the Switch version in here and get a download update and it patches everything. But that's not Nintendo or the Pokemon Company kind of thing.
We gonna get a Twilight Princess GameCube versus Wii scenario. I guess even Breath of the Wild came out for both. Yeah, the precedent's certainly there.
Or you get the Pokemon Yellow version of the ZA for the Switch too.
Eventually,
yeah,
6 months or something.
New starter Pokemon.
But those were the heavy hitters, especially the games announced from the Pokemon Presents.
There's so many Pokemon spinoffs now. I don't even understand. Pokemon Masters EX celebrates its 5.5-year anniversary. What is it? What even is that?
It's another mobile game that like it does some battling, and there's like a bunch of the legacy characters, gym leaders, and stuff in there I've seen, but it's not one of those I've ever cared enough to download and take a look.
And it's like me and Richard saw when we were out that week that Niantic was being sold to Saudi Arabia.
Oh,
oof.
The Pokemon Go developers.
Yep,
that's crazy.
Oh yeah, there was some Pokemon Go stuff in that Presents too, I think.
A new Apple themed menus coming to Pokemon Cafe Remix. This is fever dream stuff. Pokemon's everywhere. I'm guessing these are like people are playing these and checking in, buying these gyms and stuff. It's some sort of mobile whale, right?
Yeah, yep. It's like you said, they keep making it, right? Most of these mobile stuff close down quickly when they don't make enough money. So somebody's using it.
Is that the Pokemon Presents, Brant?
That is everything from that Pokemon Presents.
We shall move on to games played. Mine is going to be light. The aforementioned Final Fantasy VII Remake playthrough continues. Had I joined Aerith last time? Can't remember if I had been separated from it. Yes. Because there's a boss battle, and then you get dumped immediately into a boss battle against... Reno. It was Reno at the time, yeah. So I've been with Aerith in the Sector 5 slums, I think it is. doing missions for these. There's like some kids that are the protectors. They've got like Buster Swords behind them. Tried to leave Aerith behind because her mom warned me in the middle of the night, like, please don't talk to her ever again. You have to go. And as I was trying to leave, there's a little mini game where Cloud has to sneak through the house and not bump into any jars or anything because she'll wake up. I don't know if there's any fail states in there because I didn't hit anything. I made it all the way out. But as you're trying to proceed to the next location, Aerith is on the way and meets you there, which I think happened in the PS1 game. I think she snuck out of the house and met up with you further down the line. But I'm on the way to, I think it's Don Corneo's area. What is that? Market City, Market Wall.
Yeah,
it's like a Vegas type area in this universe. Shinra kind of turns the other way because they sealed it off, so it's sort of self-run and ruled by this Don Corneo character. But there is a theme that I sent you guys on YouTube called, was it Corroded Expressway or something like that? There's a music theme in this underground area when you're going between Aerith's house and Don Corneo's area.
Is that the one with the cranes? You got to use the cranes to move
around. Oh my god, yes, I did that.
Yeah,
I did the crane part, and I completed the puzzle. So Cesar's talking about it's like you're running a gotcha mechanic, but you have to move these box cars and Aerith, and you can't have you can't set the box cars on top of her. You're trying to get her across this chasm to a ladder. But then, so I finally figured out the puzzle. I get her there, and it's like, do you want to continue? You've missed an item. So then I had to figure out the second part of the puzzle to get her to the item to pick it up, which was a piece of materia. And it's like, I definitely got to make sure I pick this thing up. So it took me a little longer than it should have. The boss I fought was the Airbuster, and then I fought Rude, and then I fought Reno, or maybe it's the opposite. Maybe it was Reno and then Rude in this hideout area. The theme that I'm talking about is called Collapsed Expressway. And this is an awesome piece of music. And I fucking love listening to this. I found like a 30-minute cut on YouTube, and I've just been listening to this in the background. It's just an awesome jam. Look that one up. It's on YouTube, Apple Music. It's on everything that they released the soundtrack on. Yes, Wall Market is the area I'm headed to. I like looking over the soundtrack because I could tell like what I did in the story. Like I did the bit with you have to like break these boxes up to try to earn coins. There was a character impersonating a Moogle in the Sector 5 slums. And so you exchange Moogle coins that you've been accumulating for stuff from him, like soundtracks and materia and weapons and stuff. I'm assuming he's going to be in other places, or they're going to give me some sort of fast travel or something at some point. But I think I'm headed to meet up with Tifa and Barrett and stuff. But it's... I had read when this game came out and since people sort of accusing these remakes of padding, right? And it's more of just they're fleshing out all these areas with the modern engine, Back in the PS1 days, you went from set piece to set piece just super fast. Like that's how it worked.
I mean, there is a little bit of padding, but there's also a lot of it that just kind of adds to the overall environment, adds to the experience.
Yeah, the side missions really build out the areas that you're in and make them individual. And I like collecting the music. I think I mentioned that before. It's fun to hear a new theme and then try to find like which item shop seller is selling that theme. Some of those are hit and miss, but for the most part, I'm enjoying collecting the music bits. It's awesome. That game's incredible. The only knock on it, this is my own doing, I pretty much have to play plugged in because any sort of mobile playthrough of that is going to be a battery sap, like an immense battery sap. Mm-hmm. On the other hand, I'm not going to touch on it too much because we got to dip into our Halo follies from last Saturday. I threw The Witcher 3 on there. The Witcher 3 is famously a ROG Ally showcase, and it has a Steam Deck setting, and you tweak that a little bit from the Steam Deck setting, and it's like a gorgeous high quality textures and everything in 60 frames. Like it's beautiful in that thing. And I just messed around with that opening area, like doing the training with Ciri and then running off with Vesemir to that first mission. But it plays really well in that, and it is a battery sipper. That one does not take the battery. You can play that at great performance on the, what do they call that? I think it is performance mode. And then turbo. Turbo gives you your best out of Final Fantasy VII Remake, and that's typically how I play. So that is going to drain your battery very quickly. But some ROG Ally play. We all played Halo Saturday. Somewhat unsuccessfully, and then somewhat successfully. I think we lost 8 in a row.
Yeah.
And then
it was that 3-peat, baby.
And then we got the 3-peat to close it out, and it's like, all right, we got to go out on top here. That was it's still fun though.
Yeah.
I think our game mode
outside of the Super Husky.
Yeah. Our game mode really we really like that one shot.
One shot is our shit. And Brant, you carried us on, I think, just about everyone.
That last game.
You for sure. Like 25 or 26 of our 50 kills. We needed you. Yeah, but it's still good. And Cesar's over here trying to get us back into Warzone as well. Cesar, any updates on?
Yeah, the only reason why I'm interested in Warzone, because the rumor supposedly is that it's going back to Verdansk, and it's supposed to go back to the old style gameplay.
Ooh.
So
I'm in for that. I'm in for that.
Not confirmed. The map's coming. The map's coming March 20th. But the confirm is that with the old map, we're going back to the old style gameplay because apparently they lost a lot of players recently with the changes. So.
Oh, really?
I know of 4 that they lost specifically. 6.
So I know a lot of people are super excited about it on the Reddit right now that the old style is coming back. So.
Okay, I'm in. I'll make sure it's updated when that new map comes around.
We got plenty of time. We got 19 days.
Yeah.
So
I'll make sure it's ready to go. Yeah, but I was sort of handing off to you. And that is it for my games played over the past week or so.
I'm gonna be brief. I'm in a great amount of pain. So if I disappear, it's because of that. I played some Final Fantasy on the Xbox Anywhere. On the ROG, and that fires up pretty well. And it says, Richard has said before, that is a battery sipper on the ROG. I think I put like maybe 5 hours of Final Fantasy VI on there, and I've only used up maybe like 20% of my power on the battery. It's like down to 80.
Yeah, that's amazing. You would think it would with a 2D game like that, right? Mm-hmm. Like I'm pushing these console style AAA titles. Which that was in 1994, 5.
Right. So I think the highlight of that is the Xbox Play Anywhere. So I picked up my save on the Xbox. I can also do it in cloud gaming. It works. It sees you, logs in, and you just hit continue, and it starts where you left off. There's no downloading or any of that stuff.
Transferring. You're talking about transferring here, sir.
Absolutely.
At last, we made it.
Outside of that, I didn't stream any Monster Hunter Wilds. I do have it. I've played maybe a couple of hours. Like I said, I haven't been feeling too well. So I was thinking about streaming it last night, but I wasn't feeling that great and didn't know how long I'd be able to do it. But I did create a character and started the story mode, which basically I think is similar to what the beta, where you find this kid who comes from like this desert region, which is called the Forgotten Lands, which is supposed to be uninhabited. And he kind of loses his uncle to some kind of legendary monster that fights him in this cave, and he passes out in the desert. And I guess these characters are from the Monster Hunter. These hunters from the original game series are exploring this Forgotten Lands, and they find this kid. So now you're at this point where you create a hunter, and they're making an expedition to find and reunite this kid. I forgot what his name is, to his family. And now I'm kind of in the tutorial part where I just did the first boss battle, where it's kind of like showing you the hook mechanic and riding the Siret, which is that chocobo-esque bird. And it's still very much Monster Hunter with more of a story now. So like I'm at the base camp, so I'm probably like the first couple of hours in there where it's still like I told it to give me all the tutorials, because it's been so long since I played a Monster Hunter, and I always feel like
get a good refresher.
Right. So
have you cooked anything yet? That's all I know about Monster Hunter is cooking meat on the spit.
I have yet to cook anything yet. I'm literally still in the base camp where it wants me to talk to like the other hunters in my team, and it's still. I'm going through this like 4-hour tutorial now because I told it to give me everything. So it's basically doing a holding my hand as I walk through this beginning part. Because it's like, all right, what type of weapon you like, and naming your character, creating a character. So I think outside of the only thing I'll mention is I sent a photo to you guys was Dropship, was that new PS2 game that came out last month for PlayStation Plus.
I want to hear about this.
I have not played any of it to give you any idea of it. It is very. I played the beginning part. It is very much like Starship Troopers. It's like in-game humor. Like they're like talking about saving the world. Like sign up and be part of the crew. And it's like the lady turns to me and it's like, well, I don't know why they would hire you. You're not part of that.
Oh God.
It's like that type of humor in there. But I did notice I sent y'all a photo that they are upgrading the emulators now, and I'm starting to get these random updates. So now you can do color correction on there like you do a CRT, and you can have to up the gamma and color and saturation. So now you have more abilities to tweak those filters to get it down to more of what pleases your eyes if you're used to that CRT type gaming. So
sort of not on the level, but sort of like the RetroTink, where you can load a slot mask filter or aperture grill, like break down those different, not to that level, but definitely tweaking the TV with color and gamma and stuff.
Right. Some people, because, I mean, it's that example Richard always uses, like you play Super Mario World or you play a certain game, you're like, just to test out something to see if it feels right. Some people may have that game and these that come out like, this doesn't look right, feel right. And you can go in there and kind of mess with it to get it down to like your nostalgia level or the way that you played it before, and kind of get it to where you want it at. So
I love that they're adding options still. Somebody's behind the scenes doing the Lord's work.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't know if I will ever mess with that feature, but I know you guys are more prone to CRT stuff. I've kind of like, I noticed a difference, but I just gave up on it. I just don't let it bother me like it used to. Doesn't mean that it's immune for every game. There's certain games I look at and it's like, you know, it looks like booty hole still. Not everything gets passable grades for me, but I think for me that is a short week. I've been busy with a lot of personal stuff, so that's it. I'll pass it over to Brant. So outside of the Halo, I don't have anything to add on the Halo.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess are we playing that today or tonight? Is that the plan for now?
I mean, whatever. I'm down for anything.
Let's keep riding it out until we got something else we want to throw in the queue. Maybe some Payday.
Yeah. I guess we'll talk about it in anything here. I don't want to derail it. I'll kick it over to Brant first and let him talk about his 2 weeks worth of games played. So,
no pressure.
I'll try to be somewhat brief because I'll try to get a little bit more in depth with this next week because I'm gonna really try to buckle down and finish it out. The last time I talked about Legends of Dragoon, I was probably close to the end of Disc 2. I just started Disc 4 yesterday.
Damn.
So
powering through this thing.
Yeah, a lot has happened. So I'm probably going to wait until I finish it up to actually kind of go in depth.
Wrap up everything.
Talk about it.
Yeah.
Other than that, me and Renee did a stream while y'all were gone.
We saw our names made the stream title.
Yeah. It was Halo minus Richard and Cesar. And we did okay, but I honestly was like, man, it's just we're really hurting without Richard and Cesar. And then y'all came back last week, and I was like, okay, never mind. It's
they weren't the
they weren't the factor here.
Nope, no. Oh, and before I forget, Renee told me you told him about the Dirty Baja Blast. I got the Dirty Baja Blast Zero yesterday. That's just fucking great.
It's fucking amazing.
I'm leaving it at that.
They got a zero version?
Yes.
It is not 100% sugar free because it's zero, but the vanilla in there has some sugar in it. So I think it's 50 calories.
It's good though.
But you got to look at the numbers to see what's acceptable for you. Calorie wise, it's not a bad deal. I don't know how carb wise.
It's just vanilla and Baja Blast.
They have like a vanilla cream thing that they squirt into the cup, and then they do the Baja Blast in there.
The vanilla kick reminds me of Orange Julius.
It's freaking crazy.
It doesn't sound really good. I believe you guys. But it doesn't.
Do you like cream soda?
I love cream soda.
Do you like cream soda?
Yeah.
Then you'll like this.
I got it back. I got it the first night I came back, and I just went back last night to the drive-through, and I was like, I just want a Dirty Baja Blast Zero, and they're like, that's it, sir. It's like, that's it. That's all I want. Like $2.99. I was like, that's all I got at Taco Bell last night. Like, that.
Fourth meal, fourth drink.
And so I'll just jump into games and hardware acquired real quick.
Have a hardware bit.
So first up, me and Cesar were already showing off the Early Days collection. I bought it because not all of these are great games, but there are several on here from my childhood that I remember fondly and played the hell out of.
It's a couple of good. It's a couple good gems on there. Not all of them are
most of the
classics,
ones
but...
from 2000 after 2001, these games like right here, Sacred Cards, what is it? Reshif of Destruction and Worldwide Edition. There's a few other ones out there that they're kind of like a they add like an RPG mechanic where you actually like wander around the city and you can collect and open cards and you're participating in a tournament and stuff. A couple of the other ones, the Dark Duel Stories, and there's a lot of games that we didn't get over here that are Japanese titles that we're now getting in this collection. There's 16 games in this.
Yeah. Are they translated?
And a lot of yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
And but a lot of them were done before like the card game actually came out, so they kind of loosely went on like the rules that were in the Shonen Jump comic, and those rules were a little bit different and looser than the actual game once it came out. So they're a little quirky, I would say. There's some other odd and end games in here too from different little spin-offs.
And then I also want to add, and no one want to interrupt, Brand.
No,
but,
you're good.
The part of the Yu-Gi-Oh games that I enjoyed the most, not all of them did it, but Richard, if you collect the cards, they give you a code at the bottom of the card, and you can add it to the game. So
yep.
Oh,
yeah.
A lot of the ones that I just
feature.
showed from from the 2001 onward, you can literally look up codes. You could type in cheat code or what, for whatever, but it literally will pull up a card list. And they kind of gate you from using certain cards in some of those games by adding like you kind of level up in the game, and every time you level up there's like a number on the decks you use. So there's like a point system. So each card counts for this many points. And if you have a really high value card or a really strong card or something, it's going to count for a lot of points. And it can eat up that point value in the deck. So you may not be able to put a lot of other good stuff
Keeps
in
you
there.
from stacking the deck, literally.
So, yeah. So you may be able to add, and you will be able to add just by putting in those. I may actually have a card sitting around here somewhere as an example, but yes, actually.
But the one that came with the thing. Your harpy
sitting over here. That all down in the bottom corner. You can't really see it very well. There's actually a number value. It's
hard to see. I saw it.
Especially in this plastic. But that card number is on every single card like that's ever been printed. So you literally just type that in and you get that card.
That's awesome.
So
is a harpy like the God of War harpies where he like steps on their back and rips their wings off?
Yeah, the harpies, they've got some good cards in there for the harpy lady cards. The next two things I got were actually on sale.
Ooh, I like a good sale item.
Cereza.
I need to pick this up before it gets to be hard to find. I feel like it's going to be one of those hard to find.
$24.
24.
Yeah. It was 24.
What's the full title, Brand? I was talking over you.
Bayonetta Origins, Cereza, and the Lost Demon.
And I think Brant, you can confirm, or Richard, you can confirm that the director of that game was the one that just left Platinum,
yes,
right? Yeah,
I believe so.
Yeah.
Oh no, to go where?
Or voluntary total leave. Remember, Platinum just lost like 6 directors.
Yeah.
He was one of them.
They all go into the new Clover Plus or whatever they're calling it.
I think the majority of them were.
Yeah. Next is actually a bit of hardware that was on sale. I don't know if y'all probably already have one of these. I know Cesar probably does, but this little 1 terabyte Western Digital add-on for your series systems was on sale.
Frank, and when he doesn't want to play Warzone, he just pulled the memory card out.
to throw the memory card on the ground.
I
flush it down the toilet.
I have one in my X. I think I got the 512 gig. I think that was the top one when I bought it. I think I might have the terabyte.
That 1 terabyte was like $50 or $60 off this past week.
Oh, it's a good deal then.
It was pretty good discount.
Of course, the big deal there being you have to have the super fast storage to store next gen games on. You can't just use, because I have like a 3 terabyte drive hooked up for Xbox One and 360 downloads. Mostly 360.
I mean,
stuff.
the cool feature of this that works well, especially for somebody like Richard who has multiple Xbox Series consoles. So you can just plug a memory card and move it over.
Yep.
So I think the PS5 way of doing it is a lot cheaper, but I mean, you have that ability if you have a multiples to just start moving them around like that. It's very convenient. So
it's plug and play versus the little install on the PS5.
Because I've done that on my Series S to X before, and there's also a nice nostalgia factor in the memory card days. So
nostalgia factor.
Yeah, nostalgia factor goes to 10.
And last but not least is something Richard and I actually had discussed a couple weeks ago about saying I went ahead and jumped and got one.
Oh, shit.
Summer Cart 64.
Have you messed around with it yet?
I have, indeed.
Oh, please stream some of this.
It is a good piece of hardware.
What is that brand for the audio listeners?
So the Summer Cart 64 is nothing more than just another flash cart for your 64 system.
Open source. It's not stealing Chris's work on the EverDrive or anything.
This is an open source. The version that I got right here may have already may have come with games that I already own, legally speaking,
or one of us does.
I have backups.
Yes.
And for the other weird thing was, I guess just because it's sold globally, it includes PAL versions as well, which I'm just gonna have to delete because they're not gonna run on the hardware that I have.
If you get
the hardware or the TV.
If you get that, somebody can correct me potentially, but the new analog 64 thing, I believe, will play the PAL stuff just fine. So maybe don't get rid of those, or take them off the card and put them in another folder. Does it also have Japanese ROMs?
Yes, okay. It actually comes with a couple folder system of DD disk drive games are on there, as well as US, Japan, and Europe game files.
Since I already said it out loud, is this the complete package that you got, Brand? Is this everything you need to get up and going on N64 library?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, we need a link for this one specifically then. We definitely need this link.
I think you can find them off AliExpress. You can find them off eBay.
That's the thing. I want the one you ordered. I've looked at so many different options. I have like what is it? Some sort of fatigue when you've like over researched and you just can't tell the differences anymore.
Well, the Summer Cart, they're all basically, I guess, basically the same.
Right. It just comes down to what you get included.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that the version I selected, you can add a varying sized memory card. I only jumped with I think an 8 gig memory card.
Not everything in it.
So, it looked like it. It looks like it has pretty much everything I wanted on there. I don't know
why you would need more unless it's like homebrew or projects.
Yeah. That was one thing I wanted to maybe add. Just double check if everything's on there. Plus, like I said, I'm probably going to take the European stuff off.
Was Dinosaur Planet included? Because I had to add that to my.
About to say probably not. There was. I know he had to stop for legal reasons, but I'm sure it's still out there. That port of Portal 64.
Yeah.
I'd like to play that.
Be a good stream, Brand. That'd be a good stream. I want to see you showing this thing off on stream. I want to see this up close and personal.
I did play around a lot with it. Now I basically have my N64, aside from the output, completely I guess somewhat modernized now with this summer cart, and then I have the what is it, the Admiral, the wireless N64 controller.
You have you have S-video cables for your 64?
I do not. Oh,
Richard reaches over.
Some?
These are the PlayStation.
It's your Days Gone.
Yeah, my copy of Days Gone. I did I had to get to $100 to do the Insurrection Industries like free shipping thing. Yeah. But if you want to sample, maybe this is it. Yeah, there's the Nintendo one. If you want to sample that on your CRT and see if it gives you the results that you want, give that a go before you make the jump. Because they're wildly inconsistent results on eBay and such for these, making sure they're wired properly and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good.
Yeah, I messed around. Excited. I messed around a good bit. Played some Beetle. What is it? Adventure Beetle Racing. Mm-hmm. Had to relearn how to do Tony Hawk with the N64 controller because I was a PlayStation kid. Never played that on the.
I don't like those
and
versions.
That's such an inferior version.
Yeah, the soundtrack alone sets it apart. It looks better, yes, but the soundtrack is not. It's horrible. You need that CD soundtrack.
Other than that, I played some other odds and ends on there. I can't remember exactly everything.
Mario 64.
I played a little bit of Mario 64, both the regular and DD version. I could tell a little bit of difference on the sound for the.
There's a DD version of Mario 64.
Yeah,
I know there's a Rumble version. Like they added Rumble to that cartridge. I didn't know they added any sort of DD support to it.
Yeah, I played some Doshin, the giant. That's a pretty interesting game.
Yeah, I'm surprised it never got. Did they port that to GameCube? Import? Is the Japanese GameCube version?
I don't think it's a port. I think it's just like an all-around different.
It's another one, a sequel.
Different game, or just like a sequel. But yeah, I really like it. Like I said, I want to get maybe some fan translations of some of those games because, of course, the DD games were only released in Japan, so they only have Japanese. I didn't do the F-Zero with the DD.
That's probably the best of that catalog is the track editor for F-Zero X. But you have Mario Paint also. There was a Mario Studio, or Mario Artist, I think.
Mm-hmm. And then other than that, I didn't bring it over here, but it's behind me. I had one more Famicom Disk System game that came in. It was the original Legend of Zelda.
How does that sound?
Of course,
I want to hear that music. Oh my god!
That's if you have the little, what was that? The 30th anniversary, or was that 25th? That was 25th anniversary of Zelda. The little Game & Watch handheld, you can go back and forth in between those versions, either the Famicom version or the NES version, and really it's the Disk System version.
Oh, I didn't know they added that.
On that little Game & Watch handheld, because the music is different. It adds like a bell to that main theme, and it makes it's hard to describe. I have to look it up for you, or you'll have to look it up.
That extra layer of audio they were able to add on that disc
system.
My
gosh. It did weird me out because you pop it in just like normal, and I'm used to, of course, pressing start or select or whatever to get to your game selection, like your profile selection before you get into the game. And this one, I popped it in. It worked fine, and it just started scrolling with the story and the items and things in the games. And then it like wouldn't do anything. I'm like, what the hell happened? Why can't I? But I did notice some characters at the bottom with the little B next to it. I'm like, well, let me try just inserting it to side B. Maybe side B alone is where you do the character select. That's just the title. And I did that and got an error. So you have to literally put it in. You have to put it in on side A, wait till it gets to the title, pop out, eject the floppy, turn it over, and reinsert it, and then it loads.
There's a lot to this. Was there any save files on that one?
Oh yeah, there were a few very built out save files.
Some almost complete adventures.
The couple that were definitely complete. I think one of them wasn't.
Can you type in Zelda on that Famicom Disk System version and get the second quest? Is that how that works?
Ooh,
something to try.
I don't know. I'd have to look that up.
To try.
But yeah, I think that's everything I've got.
Brant, these are some crazy acquisitions, man. I'm dying to know about the summer cart. That one's gonna eat me up. I'm very excited for that, and it loads fast, right? Like I think that maybe is my only knock on my flash card is how slow it can be.
I mean, I can always bring it to you, and you can try it out. It's not like I'm using it every day here, so.
It's gonna be an instant buy after that. It might already be an instant buy. That's why I need a link. Just send me a link. That's all.
Yeah. Just put it in your new 64 console and make it all in one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be done.
Yeah, I'm excited for that analog thing. I love the 64. That is such a great way to go through the libraries with one of these cards. Since we can then play our full libraries conveniently and not piecemeal cartridges.
Hey man,
or Nintendo Switch.
You know the rule. You know the rules that they make it easily purchasable. We all read behind it right now. So
yeah,
and we already subscribe to the legal method, correct? All three of us. So we're doing our part. Is that it for you, Brant?
That's it, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us this week, and we will catch you next week. Bye.
See you.
Adios.